So, a very good evening to all of you. I welcome you to the 79th session of Inspire Book Review Club. So good to see a lot of our old faces, people who have been keeping busy, have found time for this session. And in fact, today's session is definitely special because there's money on one side and spirituality on the other side. And I think today exactly is the point where we learn to balance the two. So we learn the best of money and of spirituality. Well, this journey with Inspire, as all of you have been with us since real long time, has been really wonderful. In fact, last session we had two really magnetic books, Atomic Habits and Developing the Leader Within You. So fantastic reviews, fantastic reviewers. Taking this journey ahead today, we have two really wonderful people who will be sharing their readings with us, and people who in fact practice what they're going to share today. So that is something that adds that special flavor to every session that we have. All right, so now taking this ahead, the next session where we'll be hearing from a teacher, Smita Choudhury ma'am. Smita ma'am always wanted to be a teacher. Born and brought up in Nagpur, this was her dream to be a teacher. She started her career as a teacher from Kathmandu, Nepal, and having experience of 15 years now in this field, she's presently serving at CDS Nagpur. Her passion includes painting, art and craft, singing, and she says that at the end, I wish to be known as a person who is simple, honest, and kind human being, which is such a wonderful thing to say, ma'am. So over to you for this book on Swami Vivekanandji. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sheetal ma'am. I do not know whether I fit into a category where I need to be introduced to such a wonderful lot of talented people with caliber. Mm, and the first book review was mostly about materialism. I hope I can make a smooth bridge between materialism and philosophy, because the book that I am going to review is mostly about philosophy. So, begin with Francis Bacon, the famous English philosopher, statesman, and writer, rightly said, some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. The book I am attempting to review today definitely belongs to the third genre, a book of about 150 pages. It is the sixth edition of the series Voice of Vivekananda. I am a voice without a form. Concept and compilation has been done by Swami Srikantananda, director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. There are paintings by Sri Purushottam Karant, an ardent devotee and gifted artist who provided appropriate and pleasingly elegant paintings which make the ideas acquire sharp focus. Just after the preface, you find a short review on the book by late President Honorable APJ Abdul Kalam. The book ends with the thoughts about Swamiji by William James, the American philosopher, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of independent India. This book is close to my heart as it has been a guiding force whenever I have been in doubt. It is a compilation of letters written by Swami Vivekananda and his speeches. It also includes a few incidents and interactions with few of his disciples who were very close to him. It deals with varied topics like religion, harmony, science, powers of the mind, meditation, success, education, emotion, and much more. We enter into the mesmerizing philosophical world with the introductory salutation by the great disciple Swami Vivekananda to his guru Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev. The book presents, in a reader friendly way, the core of Swamiji's thoughts to captivate to the young and the not so young. It contains metaphysical speeches for the intellectual and wonderful short stories narrated by Swamiji for the common man to understand. The first speech is one of the most powerful addresses by Swamiji to the August gathering at the World Parliaments of Religion at Chicago on the 11th of September 1893. A salutation. Sisters and brothers of America, unified humanity as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a concept beyond the Western culture of ladies and gentlemen. In this speech, he calls Hinduism as the mother of all religions. He justifies Hinduism is not a religion. We received it as a revelation from the Vedas, which are books without a beginning and an end. The learned, educated Westerner will call it lunatic. How can a book have no beginning? The Vedas are actually accumulations of moral and ethical values by perfected beings, who we generally called rishis. From the high spiritual flights of Vedanta philosophy, from which the basic discoveries of science seem to be echoes, to the low ideas of idolatry, which with multifarious beliefs and mythology, to the egotism of Buddhists and the atheism of Jains, all have a space in the Hindu religion. Where then is the common radii? How does it converge? Where does the common basis rest? Science has proved that the sum total of cosmic energies remains the same. It changes from one form to another. It can neither be created nor be destroyed. It is there, it was there, and it will always be. So the world cannot be created out of chaos or nowhere, nor are we sinners or sheep of a shepherd. We are a part of the divine. Then how and why do we differ? Who's right and who's wrong? Do we want a Christian to be a Hindu or a Muslim to follow my faith? God forbid. The Hindu philosophy is much deeper, cease from abusing each other due to variance. We are like the various streams that flow into the river, converging into the vast ocean, losing their identity, attaining salvation. In the process of evolution, we face our own challenges, learn and overcome them, but none is wrong. Is a child a sinner when he falls, or the youth to be scorned and scoffed at for passion and desire, or the old wrong because they are fragile? It is the process of transformation and growing. Whatever path we take to reach the divine, all men are struggling through paths. A wonderful story embedded in this speech. There was once a frog born in a big well. It grew up there, eating and growing to be healthy and fat. It had its family, friends, and relatives. The well was the whole world to the frog. One day, it so happened that a toad from the ocean, by chance, came into the well. It was bigger than than the frog in the well. So the frog asked, "Where are you from?" The Toad replied, I am from the ocean. The frog jumped from his wall into the water, leaped and asked, Is your ocean so big? The toad was surprised. What? The frog leaped again from one end of the wall to another and he asked, Is your ocean this big? The toad replied, How can you compare the ocean to your well? And it is not mine, it is the ocean. The frog said, Catch him. He is a traitor. He's a sinner. He has come here to kill us, to finish us. There can be nothing bigger than our well. It is the world. It is the biggest. So, this is a synonym, exactly what we are doing. We are in our own wells, fighting with each other, trying to prove others wrong. Whereas the world beyond is much, much bigger to explore. He comes to the point saying the Hindu is not a fanatic. Show one instant in the history of mankind that the Hindu has shed one drop of blood for the expansion of religion. We have welcomed everyone with our idea of toleration and acceptance. For us, all religions are true. Best examples can be the Israelite refugees slain in the Roman Empire, settled in the southern India, or the Zoroastrians who made India their home. The land is so fertile that the invaders who came to capture us settled here and they were absorbed in the land due to its serenity. They came to conquer but surrendered to the simplicity with which we welcomed them as guests. Atithi Devo Bhava. They made this land their home, adding to the rich culture. This is not there in the book, but I would like to add that a thought by Sri Jaggi Vasudev, better known as Sadhguru. He recently he said, Hinduism is not a religion, which echoes this thought that everyone who lives, who is born, and who has prospered and progressed in the region between the Himalayas and the Indus is a Hindu. It is not a religion, it is a way of life. Coming back to the book, religion is the manifestation of the divinity already present in man. It raises the brute to man and man to God. In the history of mankind, we find great men make great sacrifices, and the mass of mankind enjoy the benefits. If you wish to give up everything for your own salvation, it is nothing. Do you want to forego your own salvation for the good of others? Then you are God. Self sacrifice is the essence of all religions. Jesus, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir, Muhammad, the living God. A poem on page number 128 of the book is worth reading. I leave it to you to read. Another topic that I would just peek into is Swamiji's thoughts on education. What is true education? Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain to reign right there, undigested all your life. It must be life building, man making, and character making. The ass carrying its load of sandalwood knows only the weight and not the value of the sandalwood. If education is identical with information, then libraries are the greatest sages in the world and encyclopedias are the rishis. He says, we want education by which character is formed, strength of the mind is increased, and the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on their own feet. Just The Western education system has done more harm than good. It wasn't meant for us. They needed a bunch of slave clerks and they succeeded. The Gurukul system and the caste system had scientific basis with no rigid barriers. Each one is important in society and has a position on the basis of his or her own caliber. Best examples can be Valmiki, who was born a Shudra and he wrote the epic Ramayana, and Vedvyas was a Kshatriya who wrote the Mahabharata. Western education was like a sheep in a lion's coat, unworthy of becoming either. Another story. A lioness was once big with a young. She went to hunt sheep and died in the effort. And in the process, a baby lion was born motherless. It was taken care of by sheep and learned to eat grass and bleat like them. Days passed and it grew big. One day, another lion came to hunt and surprised to see a full grown lion amongst the sheep behaving like one. It waited for the opportunity and dragged the scared, bleating sheep lion to the water and showed him the image in comparison to his own, taught him to roar. We become what we believe. This is the power of a teacher. Men are taught from childhood that they are sinners. We are weak sheep. Teach them that they are all glorious children of immortality. Even the weakest in the manifestation will become great. Education must build a strong mind and character. The goal may be distant, but arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. A beautiful poem. No one but me to blame for all of you to read. The next topic I would love to touch is the power of the mind. One of the most important things for education and students is a powerful mind. Vivekananda described the untrained mind as a monkey with full potential and energy. As if that was not enough, one made him drink fiercely of wine free of his will, and then he's stuck by a scorpion. Just imagine a situation where a monkey, which is restless by nature, drinks wine and it is stung by a scorpion, uncontrollable, leave aside himself by anyone. The human mind is the monkey, incessantly active in its own, drunk with the wine of desire, stung by the scorpion of jealousy at the success of others. How hard to control such a mind? First lesson, sit for some time. Let it run a havoc. You cannot control, leave aside, meditate. All sorts of thoughts, good and bad, useful and useless, keep popping up. Then, when the monkey is tired, it calms down. Practice each day. Distractions will become fewer and fewer, making your mind stronger. The book has some wonderful tips to control the mind and, rejuvenate its powers. How does a child learn? Example, an apple. It sees, it repeats the sounds that the teacher or the parent makes and repeats it again and again until it is able to say it without any provocation or any prompting. It can be done. The mind can be trained in the same way with a whole book. A real life incident. from the life of Vivekananda. In his wandering days, he was in Meerut Ramakrishna Mission. For a few days, each day he would go to the library, take a voluminous book of around 600 to 700 pages, and come back the next day demanding another. The librarian felt annoyed with the sudden burden of documentation. After a few days, when Vivekananda came in the evening for yet another book, the librarian made a sarcastic remark. Swamiji, do you use the book as a pillow each night and come back for a new one every day? Swamiji calmly replied, I hardly need a few hours to read these books. You may ask anything from it. To the utter disbelief of the librarian, Vivekanand could not just answer all the questions, but tell page numbers and often recite quotes from them. Perfect eidetic memory. That can be the power of the trained mind. It is believed that life is a journey of the divine soul from one form to another. Vivekananda had trained his mind to recollect his 8 births. Not sure whether this is a fact or a myth, but Sister Nivedita, one of the disciples who was very close to Vivekananda, narrates that Vivekananda had precisely predicted that he would not see 40. Rather, it was his conscious decision to leave as he had exhausted giving to the world what he had, and he ought to make room for others to grow. Other trees cannot grow under a big banyan tree. That's what he said. On the 4th of July, 1902, a bright day, nothing out of the normal. He was healthy and in a jovial mood, as every day and doing his daily course. Met a few of his gurus, colleagues, friends, disciples, and went for his prayers. He sang in the most eloquent voice. This is not there in the book, but I would love to tell you there are several prayers of the Ramakrishna order which have been written by Swami Vivekananda. If Sheetal ma'am permits, I would love to hum a few lines. Thank you so much. Just the first paragraph of a prayer. भव सागर तारन कारण है रवि नंदन बंधन खंडन है भव सागर तारन कारण है रवि नंदन बंधन खंडन है शरणागत किंकर भीत मने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने. These songs are sung in all Ramakrishna mutts and missions every evening till date. And then he sat for his eternal meditation, getting a little heavy. Fun activity. As a teacher, I have the bad habit of giving assignments and homeworks. So I hope all of you are ready for your homework. Just do one thing. Sit back, or when you lie down today at night, think what you did the last. Or if you're doing it just now, just before the book review, what were you doing? Getting ready? Getting ready? Before that, deciding on what to wear? Before that, had a cup of tea or coffee? What did you do in the afternoon? Just go in the reverse order. In the afternoon, in the morning, hour by hour, minute by minute. Try and recollect each and every detail. The food that you had, was it of your choice? Did you like it? What was the taste? Was it a little heavy meal, or you had a light refreshment, or you just didn't have the time to have your meal and you were really hungry, craving for a meal? every minute what you did. Go back in the morning, then last night, go to last night, then last evening, then to the afternoon before and the morning and the night and the morning. Go back. See how back the backward journey, how much you can travel, and you will be surprised to see. Stop there and note it down that okay, it was only up to 3 or 4 days. Leaving aside the major events of my day, I couldn't recollect what I ate 4 days back. Eh, Who remembers that? So try this every day. The next day, begin again with your routine at the point, and you will be surprised. Your mind is getting sharper and sharper. It is all there in your mind in the form of a chaos. It is just that you have to arrange it in a very systematic way. I hope all of you will do it and get back to me to tell me how much you have enjoyed doing it. And it is said that you can recollect every minute of your life if you try hard enough. That is the power of the mind, which can be trained into. The quest is beyond fathom. I hope I have been able to do justice to the thoughts of a stalwart and motivate a few of you to read the books. I would love to end with a quote by Swamiji from the book itself. Bold has been my message to the people of the West. Bolder is my message to you, my beloved countrymen. I want no name. I want to be a voice without a form. Through the Lord's will, the desire for name and fame has not yet crept into my heart. I dare say never will. I am an instrument, and He is the operator. Through this instrument, He is rousing the religious instinct in thousands of hearts in this far off country, the USA. Thousands of men and women here love me and revere me. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangute langitam girimaha. He makes the dumb eloquent and makes the lame cross mountains. I am amazed at his grace. Whichever town I visit, it is in an uproar. They have named me the cyclonic Hindu. Remember, it is his will. I am a voice without a form. I end here. Just enjoy a few paintings which I will share, which are there in the book.
So, ma'am, by the time you share, let me tell you that this was supreme. In fact, you with the prayer that you sang for us, you added that divinity to this review, and that is exactly what a review on Swamiji's book really deserved. So great work, ma'am. Thank you so much. Wow, these
Thank you
are
so much, Sheetal ma'am, for the
amazing.
opportunity. Just I'm there, just enjoy the paintings, which are so relevant with the thoughts and teachings of Vivekananda. This is the story of the frog.
Right. Wonderful.
The Gurukul system.
All of these
About
are there in the book.
yeah, all these paintings, and there are lots of more paintings. Actually, mostly it's alternately one page there's a painting, and the other there's it's written.
All right. Wonderful. So now the floor is open for question answers. I think Rich Bhaiya wanted to leave early. I'm not sure if he is there already. Uh, so yes, if you have questions or your feedbacks about today's session, they are more than welcome. मैम आप sharing close कर सकते हैं जी thank you. So Smita ma'am, we have more teachers here and they enjoyed your class today.
Really,
So yes,
I'm really
Smita
enjoying
ma'am.
the session. Same with Brit sir also. He was
Right.
also wonderful. Actually,
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would love to say one more thing. This session is very special. I am not a part of your Inspire Club. I've joined just today, but it was nice knowing so many
it was
people.
wonderful session, ma'am.
Even
Wonderful.
I was reading. I have two of my mentors here. We have
Isha,
Isha
ma'am.
ma'am, which all of you know, and my mom had joined the session. She's
Oh,
Wow,
Mrs. Shama
wonderful.
Mukherjee, and it's a blessing for me that Mama was here.
that was
मून को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं?
Wonderful. So do we have more feedbacks or question answers for the reviewers today? Bridge Bhaiya had to leave. He had some commitments for 7 o'clock, so no issues. So that is all from our side. Thank you very much, the reviewers, for your time, your energy. Thank you so much for all of you for adding this warmth in the session. So have a great weekend. Have a great week and month ahead, and let us meet again in the December session. We have some wonderful books for you lined up. So that is all. Thank you. Thank you so much.